Well, hello there, Casual Gaming Geek here, and this is actually a voiceover recorded after the fact, because I forgot to record my microphone audio for this episode. But anyway, we're going to carry on as if I had remembered to record it, and I'll try and illustrate what's going on the best I can. So, last time we completed the Black Dragon Fortress, and we ended up plummeting into the Temple of Kong Tien at the very end. So, today we are going to be working on completing the Temple of Kong Tien. So, here we go. Alright, so this first level is actually pretty quick, pretty short, pretty easy. Of course, we want to remember to get some water. Anytime we find a water fountain, we always got to refill our health, especially since from the previous level we ended up... we took quite a bit of damage because it was a boss fight right before this. Alright, and luckily we actually do keep all our items from Black Dragon Fortress, because most of the time when you go to a new area, you'll lose your items that you had gathered, but this time we got to keep them because Indy was just falling, he had no time to drop them off. Alright, oh, we gotta watch out for the pressure plates on the floor, so yeah, there are some traps in this level. These pressure plates, I think, just shoot out poison darts, or maybe not poison, but just darts that hurt you. And then, yeah, basically the rest of the level is a big long slide. Which, yeah, there's some traps on the side, but it's really not that difficult. You just kind of move left and right as you go. You can jump over some of them, and you get the idea. It's pretty easy. Up ahead, you can see there's a wooden wall we can break through, and that's where the artifact is, but I just missed it. I released my whip too early, so we are going to have to come back and get that afterwards. There is another opening we can swing into with our whip there, so we are going to go for it. And this time we make it to a water fountain, which is perfect since we did take a little bit of damage on some of those traps. And of course we'll take a whip out just in case, and there's fire. Now this part was weird that my joystick kind of just stopped responding here, and I don't know if it was the joystick or the game, but something wasn't right there. So I ended up going through the fire, but that doesn't really matter because we are at the end of the stage. But instead of doing this next stage, I decided that I would actually just quit, and we would go back and we would redo that level again because I want to get the artifact. Since we know where it is and the level's not that long, I figured, why not? Let's do it. Alright, and we did see there that the next stage does also have an artifact. Actually, there's only 3 stages and a boss stage, so every level had an artifact on it. Which I vaguely remembered that since there's not a lot of stages, everyone had to have an artifact. Alright, so we know exactly what we're doing here, so of course, first thing, go back, get the water again, and then we will continue on. Alright, now back down the slides. So, again, we knew that basically our only problem with getting the artifact is I released the whip a little bit too early. So I think it's the next slide has the artifact on it. Pretty sure. Yep, there it is. So, a little bit of damage. And there we go. We got in. No problem that time. Yeah, I was just a little bit of a spaz the first time around.
Here I come.
Fortune and glory, here I come. All right. Yeah, so we take the opportunity to refill our health since we know there is another water fountain. There's no harm in using a little bit of water right now. And we immediately get hurt because I wasn't really paying attention. And there's that other water fountain, which doesn't really matter too much since we're at the end of the stage, but might as well for the next one because the next stage introduces some of the most annoying enemies in gaming, in my opinion. These guys are just annoying. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but for now, avoid the fire and back to the end of the stage. Not that hard. Alright, so this is where the game gets a little mystical and a little annoying. So we got a little spirit there floating around, and he pulls up a zombie from the ground. So yeah, basically these next couple of stages, you gotta fight a ton of zombies, and they are just annoying for the most part. This guy I dealt with no problem, but most of the zombies are annoying, and just, you know, if there's 2 or 3 of them fighting you at once, they kind of just gang up on you, and it gets kind of hectic. I don't know how that guy went down in so few hits. Oh, gotta grab the spear here. Don't know if it's actually going to be useful, but might as well grab it. What is Indy looking at there? Just check, see if there's anything on the sides. Alright, hello, Mr. Spirit. And for some reason, the camera was really zoomed in here, which kind of threw me off. And it fixed itself, of course, when the guy flipped me over. Yeah, so you can see one-on-one, they're not that bad. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Tiger Strength Potion. I don't think I actually ended up using that, but nice to have. Actually, I think that's the second Tiger Strength Potion we got. I used my Iron Skin Potion on the previous, or on the, not the previous level, the last level of Black Dragon Fortress, so I didn't have that, but now I have 2 Tiger Strength Potions if I wanted to use them, but again, I don't think I did at all. So I was just checking that you couldn't go in that other door, and now here we go. So at this point I realized, oh wait, this is where they start getting a little bit more annoying. Because yeah, you got this guy crawling on the ceiling here, so okay, let's start dealing with him. But another one starts coming at me, so now we gotta deal with 2 of them, and yeah, this is where they get a little bit annoying and start flipping me around. I was hoping that sword would be a little more helpful, but I couldn't get it, and I gave up at that point. I just started beating him up, but it did not, it was not going well. Alright, 1 down. By accident. I don't think that wasn't actually the guy I was aiming for. Oh, there's another. Luckily, it's just 1, so in theory, it shouldn't be that hard. Oh, and here comes another. Come on, guy, come die. Well, I guess they're already dead. Come die again. Alright, so let's go. I'm going to go and refill my health again because that's what I do. Although I realized afterwards that it was kind of unnecessary since there are actually a lot of water fountains on this level. So it wasn't really necessary for me to refill my health like I did here, but it's fine. Better to be safe than sorry. Alright, I was just checking, make sure there's nothing hidden there, because we do still have an artifact to find on this stage. But nope, there was nothing here, so let's move on. And I could, of course, I heard that guy, so I figured there would be some in this next chamber. Yep, there's at least 2. Now, I was trying with the sword, and it works well. Like, the sword actually does a decent amount of damage to these guys, but he knocks it out of my hand there, and then I kind of just forgot to pick it back up. I probably could have grabbed it, and probably would have had a much easier time with this, but oh well. Yeah, you see why these guys are annoying? They keep just leaping out of my way. This is why I hate these guys. Give me that sword, and there you go. Alright, so that's all those guys for now, so let's take a look around here. So we got a nice big door there, which is obviously a point of importance. And yeah, like I said, there were a lot of water fountains on this stage, so we were able to refill our health pretty easily, even though we didn't really need to. And we have the larger canteen, so it's even less important, but whatever, it's not a big deal. Alright, we're going to come and look over here, and there's not really much of interest here. That lever is not usable right now, so we have no choice, it looks like, but to go the way that I didn't want to go. The gong, the ominous gong. Now, obviously, the floor is going to fall out from under Indy when he rings the gong, but we got no other choice. And there we go. Yeah, definitely do not want to fall down there. That would hurt, especially after beating up all those guys. I did not want to die. Okay, so here we are with the magical blue torch, which this is kind of a neat object, except for the fact that I don't show it right here, but Indy can actually put this torch in his bag, put it away. So he's just carrying around fire in his pocket, basically.
Behold the dragon's claw, PaCheng, the demon destroyer. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that sounds like exactly what I need right now.
Alright, so yeah, we want the PaCheng demon destroyer, but we cannot actually get it. We need to light all the fires, so we got to go and do that. And that's why we need this blue torch, and Indy can actually put it away, because if you need to use something else, you still have to have the blue torch. You don't want to, the game designers didn't want people to have to go and get it again. Alright, that is the wrong door, but we will move on. Oh yeah, you can see, I'm not holding the torch, it is just, Indy just put it away, so we're just carrying around magical fire. Well, I guess the fact that it's magical means it's safe, but it's still kind of weird. And of course there's a couple of these guys, and I did remember that I believe the fire does a little bit more damage to them than you just punching them, so I used it basically like a machete or a sword. And his hair is on fire. The guy's hair is on fire. Oh, so yeah, here we noticed, here is the artifact for this stage, which is not hard to find at all. And we got another health potion, which was good, because I kind of wasted my health potion that I got in the Black Dragon Fortress, so it's good to find another one, since I know I'm probably going to need it. And yet another water fountain. Yeah, there is just so many of them all over this stage. I don't understand why there are so many. I mean, I'm playing this on the hardest difficulty, and I don't really need all these water fountains. Granted, I've played this game a whole bunch of times, so I know what I'm doing, but still, I feel like they went a little bit overboard on the water fountains. Oh yeah, so here, this is kind of a neat thing. So if you can see there's these glowing red spots on the floor. But if Indy puts the torch away, they go away. So if you'd put the torch away after lighting the fires, it would have been a lot harder to see those spots on the floor that you definitely don't want to step on. Honestly, I don't actually know what happens when you step on them. I might actually load up the game again after recording this voiceover, and I might just come in and step on one just to see what happens, because I don't actually know. Just gonna navigate carefully around them here. Not really that hard to avoid them, but you gotta be a little bit careful. And there's some zombies, of course there are. So now this brought us back out to the room with the gong, and because we had to light a couple of fires from here, but of course we gotta deal with these stupid zombies again. So I don't know if I don't think they take burn damage, but I think the torch does do a bit more damage than just punching them. I don't know why I tried to use the sword there. I was like, oh, sword, that might work, but yeah, no, that was kind of a mistake, but no big deal. There's a water fountain right here again. Alright, so we will light that fire. Alright, there we go. 3 down, 5 to go. And there's the other one right there on the other side of the room, so we can go and get that. Oh, and I hear zombies. Now, okay, so there's... Oh, there's the zombies. I remember there was more. Yeah, see, I don't even know where these guys came from, because you can't see any spots where they could have come from. It was just a dead end there, so I don't know. I guess they just grew out of the ground. And yeah, not that hard to deal with. So no, at this point, I got a little bit lost because I wasn't sure really where I was supposed to go. I was just checking my health here, make sure, but I decided, forget the water fountain, they're everywhere. So now, I thought I might want to go back the Gong way, but I realized afterwards that the Gong mallet was actually left downstairs, so I couldn't have gone that way if I wanted to. So we are just going to... Oh yeah, so here I'm like, oh wait, that's where I just came from. But yeah, there really wasn't anywhere else to go. Yeah, I was considering trying to ring the gong, but without the mallet, I realized I couldn't. And there's the only other door you can't go in. Well, you actually probably could go in it, but you don't want to. So, back the way we came. Yep, and I hear some zombies. At this point, I was kind of stressing because I did not want the zombies to come when I'm in this room with these pressure plates, because I really did not want to find out at this point what happened. Now I do want to know what happens when you step on them, but at this point, I did not. Luckily, though, the zombies were not in this hallway. They were actually crawling around here. So there's a whole bunch on the ceiling there, and they kind of got a little stuck. And I remember this from previous times playing this game, that the zombies in this room, they kind of just get stuck on the ceiling a lot. So this guy, so yeah, I think there were 2 on the ceiling of this room, and then 2 on the ceiling of the room above. Yeah, so here you can see, like, he's just kind of stuck there hanging out. So I'm just waiting for them to come down. I probably could have just moved on, but I kind of wanted to defeat them. Come on. Yeah, so now there's that guy, and there are 2 more on the ceiling above, or I think there were 2 more at this point. So I decided I'd just go up and I'd see if they were going to fall down. If they were actually stuck, I would move on, but turns out, nope, they are not entirely stuck. Yeah, so that was an accident. I meant to look up. I keep forgetting to rebind that key. I did not mean to roll like that, but not a big deal. Probably should have just dropped down there. I would have probably landed on the guy. But, again, not a huge deal. And the other one evidently at some point decided to drop down, so I got both of them here. I don't know why that guy died so quickly, but no big deal. Or no problem, that means. Oh, and actually, I just realized the door opened on its own, which means I probably couldn't have moved on without defeating the guys. So, that's that. It's not like I wasted my time here. Ooh, there's creepy evil laugh. Alright, so now this next stage, this one's actually a pretty cool level. I had forgotten about it until we got here, but this is actually a pretty cool one. So we got this really big, cool chasm here, and we got a bridge. A glowy bridge. Those glowy spots go away when I put my torch away, so obviously it's something magical. Now at this point, I was pretty sure it was safe to go at this point, so I just went for it. Because I didn't really remember what I was doing here, but it came back to me about this point on the bridge, and I realized I was pretty safe. Alright, we got a couple more fires to light here. Alright, so 3 more total. And this makes 2 more. And then I remembered what happens. The bridge flips over and you see some red spots. So, obviously red is bad and the blue is good. Now, right now we can only see these 2 tiles in front of us. Now, when we step on a blue, a red flips back over to blue, and we have to avoid the red while getting to the blue spaces. Not that hard, except for the fact that you gotta go back and forth, which is just kind of tedious, because, yeah, it flipped over behind me now, and I gotta jump back over these again. But, even if it is tedious, this is probably one of the coolest parts of the game, and this is one of the more adventure-y parts, at least in recent parts of the game, because basically from Hong Kong on was just a lot of sneaking around and fighting guys. This is back to more adventure-y, which I loved. So now, I could have just jumped across, but I hit that tile instead, which you can see it breaks a wall somewhere. So I realized that basically, since I could have just gone ahead and I did that one as an optional one, that's what actually unveiled where the artifact for this stage is. So I just, at this point, I knew I just had to keep an eye out and make sure I can not miss any of those broken walls, because that's where the artifact would be. Alright, moving on. This next room, I remembered what this next room was right away, and it's cool. It wasn't nearly as difficult as I remembered it being, but it's pretty cool. So you got another chasm here, but there's no bridge. Oh, and there it is. There's the bridge. So you got an invisible bridge here. Not quite on the, it's not quite as epic as the one from Last Crusade, but it's a lot more magical, obviously, because it's not just an optical illusion. The chanting here reminds me of Temple of Doom. And this time I remembered exactly what happens when you light both of these fires. And it's pretty cool. It's not that difficult to get past, but it's pretty cool. Alright, so we lit all the fires, so we gotta go back and do the spinny puzzle there. But now, the bridge is moving up and down, and it's broken up into pieces. But as long as you take your time, it's not hard at all. You just wait until it's lined up and you walk across. No jumping needed. But still, this is cool. Oh, so right here was kind of fortunate. These pieces were perfectly in sync, and I didn't realize they were 2 pieces until right there when the one behind me went up on its own. So that was kind of lucky there. I should have been a little more careful, but no problem, we made it through. Alright, so time for this little ring puzzle, which isn't really a puzzle. It's not that hard. So if we zoom out, you can see basically you got the shapes along the outside, and it matches the shapes on the inside. And you just spin it around until it matches. It's not a puzzle. It's not hard. It's kind of just a thing you do. Oh, and I went too far there. You gotta go back. Alright, next ring in. I think this ring only moves once. Yeah, that ring only needs to move once, and then we can go, go into the new one. We just had to make sure we're doing it correctly, but it's not really that tricky. And there we go, no problem. And there it is, the PaCheng, or however you pronounce it. I don't know. I'm not good at pronouncing Chinese or foreign words. Pretty sure it's the PaCheng. Yeah, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to pick up the item. There we go. Alright, and now I'm kind of lost. I don't know which door I'm supposed to go in. Let's see. Is it this one? No, it is not. That is the way to the invisible bridge. So then, yeah, we're basically trying to get back up to the gong room, which this isn't either. There it is. It's the door that was open on its own waiting for me. So yeah, this we already know leads back up to the Gong Room. And of course, there are going to be some more zombies in here, but now we have the PaCheng, which in theory should deal with them easier. I don't know that it actually really does. Especially since I was kind of spazzing out here. I kept trying to throw it, which I realized you really don't want to do in close quarters like this, especially with two of them. So, I gotta run away, reset myself, and I threw it again like an idiot. So you can see, when I killed the guy, I also ended up punching the spirit that came out of him, which got rid of the spirit. So that's what this can do, is it can basically get rid of the spirits that are animating the zombies. Not all of them, there's not spirits in all of the zombies, but some of them there are, and you want to make sure to also attack them. Alright, so now I wasn't sure, we know one of these spots opened up for the artifact. I was just making sure it wasn't one of these. I knew it wasn't the two on the next wall over, because that's where the artifact was in the last stage. Alright, moving up, and of course we're going to stop and get some water, even though we don't really need it. And at this point I realized we want our blue torch out so we don't step on those pressure plates. Such good music. Such good music. Alright, so this is the Gong Room again, and of course we got a couple more zombies to deal with, but they're really not that difficult. Alright, so we took a tiny bit of damage. Now, I thought that was the end of the stage up there, so oh, here we go. Here is the artifact. And that is the last artifact in Temple of Kong Tien. So now, I went and I refilled my tiny little bit of health I lost because I thought this is the end of the stage and the next one is a boss. But it turns out that, no, this isn't actually the end of the stage. It's a part I completely forgot about. Alright, so we're looking around here, and at this point I realized what this part is, and I remember this. So basically you just gotta deal with a whole bunch of these guys, and I'm pretty sure all of them actually do, like the spirits come out of all of them, and you gotta remember to also kill the spirits. So you see that spirit flew away before I could punch him. Up there, I think I got him on the backhand, I think. See, I missed that one until I swung around and got him specifically. Yeah, that's it. Just gotta remember to get them all. And basically, in general, except for that one, it's kind of, you kind of get them without trying. Oh, where did that guy come from? I have no idea where he came from. Still don't know. I mean, I can't, even watching this footage back now while I'm recording this voiceover, I have no idea where that guy came from. And we got one more spirit to worry about. Of course, we gotta get that guy. And there's this spirit right here. Come on. Up there you are. Alright. Now I'm pretty sure that's the end of the stage. So, once again, I should probably go and refill my health. Of course, we're going to check and make sure there's nothing useful in any of these spots, which there's not. Alright, so yeah, let's definitely go back and refill our health, because now I know it's the end of the stage and there's a boss next. So we don't want to be low on health. Alright, here we go. On to the last level in the Temple of Kong Tien, the boss fight, which I did not really remember how to do the boss fight at this point. I remembered it was difficult, and that's all I knew. And I'm sorry I don't have subtitles on, so you can't, if you don't know Chinese, you're not going to understand this. I'm sorry. I think basically, if I recall, the gist of this is they are offering Mei Ying as a sacrifice to Kong Tien in exchange for Kong Tien reforming the Mirror of Dreams.
I've got a bad feeling about
Pretty sure that's what's going on, because you can see, yeah, so there are the shards of the Mirror of Dreams that I recovered, and he is making it whole again. Yep, we zapped that guy by accident. Oh well. I like this. That guy's just sitting there smoking.
Mei Ying, wake up. We have to get out of here.
Uh-oh. Mystical lava energy underneath us. And that's not normal. That is not normal.
None shall survive my wrath.
None shall survive my wrath. So yeah, now at this point I'm trying to remember exactly what I'm supposed to do. Now it's very obvious you're supposed to hit the spheres that the dragons are holding, but I couldn't remember how exactly you're supposed to do that. And of course we got a whole bunch of spears to deal with. Now the spears can actually hurt me. Oh, and she's shooting me at the same time, of course. Now I tried using the PaCheng there, but she was protected by her energy field. I didn't realize that. So now, I don't understand why it didn't work here, because I threw it at her, and it just either missed, or maybe I was a little too late at throwing it. But I had thought that I was supposed to throw it at her like that. I used my health potion there, and I did not mean to pull my revolver out. Yeah, these spirits are just annoying. Probably didn't need to throw that, I could have just punched up. Yeah, these guys are just the worst. Come on. Come on. How did that miss? And yeah, I don't even know how I managed to do that. We can just pretend that didn't happen, okay? Great. Because yeah, that I don't know how I did that. I don't know how or why or what I was trying to accomplish. But anyway, take two. Yeah. Got rid of one of those guys really quickly. That was nice. And still this. I don't like these guys. I'm pretty sure there are none in the Emperor's Tomb. I think they're only here, but I might be wrong. Alright, so here, I think my timing with the PaCheng was basically... Oh yeah, you can see her energy shield was actually going back up, but I managed to hit her, and I broke one of the spheres. Yeah, you can hear it shattered there. And unfortunately, I couldn't actually hit either of the others here. I don't think it's possible to. Maybe it is. I don't know. If Joseph, if you're watching, I'm sure you know if it's possible to hit multiple spheres at once. Take out these guys pretty quickly. Oh, and here we go. The energy beam again. So let's whack her real quick. There we go. And let's get the sphere before they're shielded again. Yeah, so I was trying to get that third sphere, but it was aiming at Kong Tien, or Mei Ying, whatever you want to call her. Come on. Come on. Yeah, so this time I had to throw it. And... Oh. Yeah, so I was running pretty low on health here. I didn't want to take any chances, so health potion. Got my PaCheng out right in time. Oh my gosh, I did not realize how close I was to the edge there. Oh, that was terrifying. Hit her and get the sphere. There we go. See, that wasn't too bad.
Indy?
Are you all right?
Yes. Now that that thing is gone. Thanks to you.
Now it's not the time for that, Indy.
Now what? We've got to get out of here. Kai's men are coming back to finish the job.
Follow me. I saw a passage that will take us back to the surface.
All right, of course you saw a passage to the surface.
See? That wasn't so bad.
Not so bad. I
I
really wish I knew what she was saying.
You two had me worried. I was about to raise anchor and sail for Hong Kong.
Not Hong Kong. Shanghai. Mei Ying and I need to catch a train to Xi'an.
And then what?
Then we pay a visit to Qian's tomb. After 2,000 years, I think the Emperor is finally ready to spill his secrets.
Yeah, I am sure he's ready to spill his secrets. Alright, so that is the beginning of the Emperor's Tomb level, but we are not doing that in this episode. So, obviously we did pretty well this time. We could have done a little bit better, but it wasn't too bad. I will say I really should not have died on that boss. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know how I managed to do that. Shouldn't have died, but other than that, it wasn't as hard as I was afraid it was going to be. So next time we will do at least the Emperor's Tomb, and we may also do the area after that and finish the game. So if you're looking forward to that, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss when that episode goes live. And until next time, so long.